Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Th000 and Fly taking place here on Last Refuge. Unfortunately, no observers in this game, and I am kind of pressed for time, so I will be fast forwarding during the early portion of this match. Hopefully this game isn't, well, too long, as I do have, well, chickens in the oven. And that reminds me, I actually need to grab that meat thermometer and put it right next to me. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, I am probably the most casual caster out there, being able to walk away, and it looks as though everything seems to be alright. Chicken's currently at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, means they get up to 165. I should have plenty of time to do just exactly that. Now, let's going to go ahead and break down this orc versus human matchup. As I said, it is going to be Fly versus Th000 here on Last Refuge, as Fly will be opening up with your standard Blade Master. Blade Master really strong at putting pressure early on, and the fact that we don't see a Voodoo Lounge means that we should have a very fast tech to tier 2. With that tech to tier 2 getting underway, I believe he's just waiting for a little bit more lumber. He will be trying to not take too much damage on that Blade Master early on, as that will set him behind a little bit later. Footman now looking to pull back here. Meanwhile, Archmage has gone ahead and cleared out that 3-3-3 creep camp fairly quickly. And what is Th000's follow-up play? Both players have a very set strategy so far, as we do see that Stronghold already being upgraded and that Voodoo Lounge pretty much being built at the same time. I'm not quite sure if I agree with that. If you're already gonna go ahead and delay your Stronghold tech, might as well build that Voodoo Lounge out a little bit earlier so it cannot get pressured by the Archmage and, well, Water Elementals. You're gonna quickly see a force cancellation right there. A little bit of a misstep by Fly and not building that Voodoo Lounge earlier, and also not being on top of his resources for that Stronghold. Alright, Blade Master, Wind Walking, will be heading back across here. Th000 is just taking an early presence in this game, and we'll see what the transition will be. Orc with this particular opening is generally behind during the early stages of the match. 23/30 supply, not training up any additional grunts, but really wants to build up some additional units here in just a second, as the Blade Master wind walks once more, and as I said, taking a lot of damage early on. How is Th000 going to go ahead and use this advantage so far? He knows that he should be striking while the iron's hot, gets to level 2 off of the long distance creep, and now will be pressuring with Brilliance Aura on that Archmage. Water Elemental going to be, well, finished right there. Stronghold about to be completed. You can see there's the Dust of Appearance. Is the Blade Master nearby enough? He did get dusted, as we now see the Orc Burrow, well, firing back at that Water Elemental there. Damage is being done. It looks as though the Water Elemental could end up getting taken down, but is the Orc Burrow gonna get sacrificed? No, it is not. That perfect timing right there by Fly, knowing, keeping track of how many hit points or how close to completion this Orc Burrow was, and timed it absolutely beautifully, as we now see the Blade Master could end up getting taken down. Oh, speed scroll right there. Blade Master gets to level 2, gets the extra bit of hit points to stay alive, as the Blade Master now down to 38 hit points. Footman could get a shot in right there, purposely trying to get into harm's way, as the Blade Master now being forced to use another healing salve. All right. Blade Master, beautiful play right there. Fly now bouncing back into this game after a little bit of a slow start, and Th000 needs to figure out how he's going to be able to get back that advantage. Spirit Lodge and, well, Bestiary should be coming online in just a moment here. You can take a look. Grunts now down across here, as well as the Archmage still wandering back around once more. Footman now heading back off to the north, as we are looking at where the Archmage will be traveling and what the follow-up play will be. Wand of Illusion. Blade Master still wandering around, as we see the Blade Master clearing out this 5-3-3 creep camp. And we'll see whether or not we are going to be getting very strong items. The Null Overseer could be dropping powerful items here, as the Footman now, well, trapping this Blade Master, so to speak. Who's going to get that last bit of experience? The Blade Master will get it, picks up a Ring of Protection, but ends up costing himself a Grunt as the Grunt gets taken down. Shadow Hunter should be joining in on the fight. He's going back to the Voodoo Lounge to perhaps try and buy some more items there, as the Blade Master and Grunt now looking to pull back. Shadow Hunter back across, heading back to that Voodoo Lounge now. Gonna be burying gifts as the Blade Master and the Grunts are both relatively low on hit points. Meanwhile, Tho opted to go for Tier 2, getting the Mountain King first, and now could be contemplating trying to establish up an expansion. Blade Master nearby here. He is just testing the waters, but actually just putting on feigning pressure as we now see the militia being pulled back. Shadow Hunter still sitting at level 1 with that trained ability not yet done yet. He doesn't know if he wants Hex or Healing Wave first. No real reason to train it until the situation arises, and the situation may be arising here in just a moment. There it is. There's the Healing Wave, saving that Grunt right there. Ogre Warrior still dealing a lot of damage back and forth once more. Meanwhile, both sides heading back to their respective corners to try and level up, get a bit more experience, and also get a little bit more experience, and also just get into that mid stage here. Mountain King does pick up a true shot aura with that flute of accuracy. Double gloves of haste on the Blade Master means that bash could be potentially very deadly, as that Mountain King with boots of speed and bash could really start stunning down some of those grunts. Back off to the north, Shadow Hunter gonna go ahead and clear out this creep camp here. Meanwhile, Blade Master is hunting so far unsuccessfully, trying to figure out where the Archmage and the Mountain King is. Alright, let's see where the unit's going to be going. Shadow Hunter down to 149 hit points. Very, very low. Might need a healing wave here in just a second. Has to be very careful with the Mountain King nearby, or perhaps nearby, as the Footman now going to perhaps be coming across. There's a little bit of damage once more. Shadow Hunter trying to clear out again. There goes the Footman, as the Murloc is going to go ahead and disrupt the Shadow Hunter's healing. No, beautiful micro by Fly, making sure to get a good surround on that Murloc, who likes to switch targets in order to get that poison down onto multiple units. Meanwhile, Blade Master now with double potions of greater healing, and this is perhaps the perfect items for Flight. I did not say she could watch TV. All right, back across over here. Blade Master now perhaps going to try and find that Mountain King Footman and put down a bit of pressure. Archmage does not have the Dust of Appearance. We see an invisible water elemental making its way through. Got to be very careful, though, as it could get all tied up here in just a moment, as the Blade Master now going after some of these units. There's an ensnare onto the Priest. Priest could get taken down, as the Null Overseer going to end up falling at the hands of the Blade Master. Claws of Attack +6 picked up by the Shadow Hunter should be transferred to the Blade Master, as we see the caster is just not in a good position at all. However, the longer this fight goes, the more effect all of that slow is going to have, as we see a couple of disenchants now go down. Raider very, very much in trouble, down to 118. Gonna be able to use a speed scroll in order to get away. Blade Master still fighting a beautiful, beautiful Stormbolt, followed up by a healing wave, as the Raider could still get taken down. Mountain King double backs around, able to finish off the unit, as we're still fighting our way through. Long drawn out battle here. Spirit Link not really cast across multiple units, as it looks as though the militia going to turn the tide of this battle. Mountain King with so much mana and constant bashing really causing some problems. There goes another unit there. Spellbreaker could get taken down, as you see that Mountain King bash after bash after bash, just having a great party all by himself. Raider gonna go ahead, perhaps try to get an ensnare down onto the Mountain King. Mountain King, however, gets invisible. Beautifully done right there, as the Raider could get taken down. Gets a level 4 now, or level 3 now on the Mountain King, and level 2 Stormbolt could spell a lot of problems. Archmage sitting at 215 hit points has to be extremely careful as well. Blade Master gonna go ahead and join in on this fight. However, no low hit point targets coming across, as the Mountain King still dancing back around. All right, the fact that I can see invisible Mountain Kings, that means that there has been a change to the game, as you turn off Fog of War and you can still see enemy units. And well, that's all I have to say about that. All right, invisible on a Sorceress, as that Sorceress will be heading back off to the north. Shadow Hunter sitting at 3, Blade Master sitting at 3. Both potions of greater healing still available on that Blade Master, which will be very important, as that Mountain King is now higher up in level.
We're under attack.
Now, This is one of those situations where the Archmage is such a key unit in this human versus orc matchup. The more mana the sorceresses and the priest have, the better they will be equipped for that next fight. Disenchant on those spirit walkers are incredibly expensive. And because of that, any sort of caster ward generally does favor the human player. However, the problem is going to be whether or not the lines are properly set up. You can see that the Archmage is going to get up or get a little bit more experience here. Mountain King going to perhaps get to level 4. That bash will be able to proc even further, and those double gloves of haste is really going to be able to make a very profound impact on the rest of the game. Alright, let's take a look. Overlord looks like it will get taken down here. Bloodlust stolen, and Brilliance Aura now on a Mountain King. Talk about the most useless item. He will go ahead and sell that back as soon as he can. Is he heading over to the shop? He should be. Mounting dwarves do like pipes, but no smoking for Brilliance when you have an Archmage nearby. Now, Fly sitting at Claws of Attack +6, only +10 attack. I don't see a Kodo Beast as of yet as part of this army, and that is going to really take off much of the edge that the Blade Master has. There's that Kodo Beast finally spotting it right there. I thought I heard it, just couldn't see it, as the Ogre Lord now taking a fair bit of damage. There is an Ensnare, 153 critical strike from that Blade Master, +15 damage as the units are now going to be pulling back. All right, here we go. Big attack here. Orc burrows do need to be repaired. We are looking at 49/60 supply. You do have a burrow to give, so to speak, as the Stormbolt does go down, and there goes some peons. However, Blade Master finding the back of a Sorceress, able to take down 1 or 2 already, as a second Orc burrow now taken out. All right, casters diving straight on into this Orc burrow, focusing, and this is going to be a very interesting trade, focusing down onto the Orc burrows as opposed to going after units. Yes, it will prevent new units from being trained, but the Blade Master, who is currently in a bit of trouble, still can deal a lot of damage once more. All right, Blade Master going to go ahead and try and engage again. Blade Master, Spirit Link, or Scroll of Healing could be used. No, there's a Healing Wave. Potion of Greater Healing could be used as well. Scroll of Healing could be used. No Spirit Link, though, to heal across multiple units, as we now see another unit taken down there. Grunts trying to push back here, and Tho brilliantly using his positioning, going further into the base, only to use a Scroll of Town Portal to get back out. Supply, let's take a look at what the supply is showing. 56 compared to 44. As we see now, Fly is going to be in a bit of trouble at being forced to rebuild many of these Orc burrows before he can really train up any more units, while the human army just went back home, used clarity potions, perhaps used a bit of healing from those priests as well, and now with Spirit Link across multiple units, they're going to be able to do a lot here. All right, Scout Towers, no Arcane Sanctuary, or Arcane Sentry, excuse me, onto the guard tower, so they will not be able to spot the Blade Master yet, but the Mountain King does get a Stormbolt off. That's going to be a very big deal, as the Blade Master losing a lot of mana very quickly, unable to get the Wind Walk, as we now see the Mountain King trying to go after the units again. However, the Ogre Lord and Ogre Mauler perhaps focusing down onto the guard towers could be causing problems. Blade Master using the Potion of Healing in time, as the Mountain King is at frontline position. Could be in a bit of trouble, though. He needs to get healed, and in a hurry. All right, Potion of Healing, or Potion of Invulnerability, has come to an end. Isn't going to be enough, though. He's purposely trying to pull back here. Blade Master in serious trouble. He does use a Scroll of Healing, but the cooldown on the Potion of Greater Healing still in effect. It's going to take a little bit of time once more. Is he going to be able to survive long enough? Is he going to be able to commit here, as the Arcane Sentry is now done? Ogre Lord and Ogre Magi units are actually causing problems, as it is taking a bit of the focus fire from the guard towers away from all of these units. Also taking a bit of the slow as well, so there is less mana on those sorceresses to do very much. All right, this last battle, a little bit of a 2-on-1, as the Ogre Magi now trying to back off. All right, guard tower is now getting taken down. Blade Master sitting at level 5. Blade Master trying to slice his way through. Spellbreakers all in that front line, as we see now the Mountain King getting up to level 4. Stormbolt is going to come in time. Potion of Greater Healing used again. And that Blade Master really benefiting from those early heals. However, Arcane Tower now removing all the mana from the Shadow Hunter. Blade Master getting very low on health, trying to back up again after a potion of mana. Still fighting its way through. Units are still pulling back, as the Grunts once again putting pressure onto perhaps those spell breakers in order to try and take them down. Ensnare should be coming down. No easy retreat at all, as the spell breakers unable to chase after all of those slow targets as the speed scroll was used. But unfortunately, one grunt did not get the memo and will get taken out. All right, lack of expansions is showing me that this game should be coming to an end sometime soon, unless both sides lose the war of attrition equally. All right, let's head back up to the high ground here. Mana Stone now onto the Archmage. That could be given to the Mountain King. Mountain King, however, does not have any room for it right now. Perhaps Dust of Appearance. Stormbolt. Blade Master is in trouble. Healing Wave coming down once again as the Blade Master now looks to back off. All right, let's keep this going as the Blade Master, once again, very, very low on hit points, doesn't have a real easy time as there goes a Stormbolt onto a Raider instead of the Blade Master. Blade Master down to 584 hit points. Archmage now sitting at level 5 will be dropping level 3 Water Elementals, and with this, a 5-4 going up against a 5-5, you would assume the 5-5 has the advantage, but the hero army the army is now making a difference. However, Archmage now in trouble, down to 243 hit points. He needs to back away. 7 seconds of invulnerability, not going to last long enough, as now he needs to get away. Are we going to see perhaps an ensnare? No, we are not. Raider, low hit point Raider in the backfield. What is going on? The Blade Master still trying to fight, as the Blade Master, if it gets a big critical strike, nope, just takes 3 swings and comes out ahead. Perhaps a bash from the Mountain King could have swung things around. Without the Mountain King, the Blade Master now pretty much has free reign, even though he is low on hit points. He needs to pick up a potion of invulnerability or a scroll of healing. Both of those would be incredibly helpful, and he's just, I believe, waiting for the gold, as that is what's happening here. All right, Mountain King, however, back in play, resurrected at the tavern. Blade Master coming across here. What is the Blade Master going to be looking to do? Are we going to see perhaps a couple more ensnares? Shadow Hunter in the back had a clarity potion. It has come to an end. Scroll of Healing now come to an end as well, as the Spellbreaker army really taking its toll. The Spirit Walkers are completely useless in this fight against those Spellbreakers, and the Sorceresses still need to be casting more slow here. The chase is still on. Raiders going back and forth once again, as you see 5 units slowed by those Sorceresses. Whoever is retreating is generally losing, and right now, Fly loses a Raider and may end up losing a Grunt as well. All right, well, we'll be losing a Grunt, just not the Grunt I thought he would be losing. 49 over 70 supply. Mountain King gonna go ahead and engage. Blade Master could be in trouble once again. Blade Master 212 critical strike. Continuing this fight once more. Kodo Beast is back out onto the field. Could be dealing big damage and easily starts chomping down on a Spellbreaker. Big swing right there as Spellbreaker number 2 is getting taken down. Blade Master, however, in trouble, down to 416 hit points, needs to back off. Archmage back up to 400, or pretty much full hit points, as he's now getting sliced and diced. All right, 228 critical strike. Mountain King does not have enough mana. Could have enough mana here in just a moment. Stormbolt. Blade Master down to 235. A bash coming in across as well. Who's going to take down the other hero as a Spirit Link saves the Blade Master? All right, Mountain King gets taken down. Blade Master now up to level 6 as the Raider gets taken out as well. I do not believe there's enough gold to resurrect the Mountain King a second time from the tavern, as the Blade Master hides out in the backfield with no easy way to get healed. All right, Shadow Hunter gets up to level 6. We could have Big Bad Voodoo, and without the Mountain King, Big Bad Voodoo is actually a very, very powerful ability which will force a retreat. Mountain King was resurrected for a second time. Blade Master sitting at level 6. What is going on here? 2 level 6 heroes retreating from a level 5 and a level 4 Mountain King and Archmage. Everyone just trying to get back away as a Raider gets taken down. 49 over 70 supply, no upkeep. Gold mines have about a minute left in them, as we are looking at the army sizes. All right, 49 compared to 47. Both sides are about even. Archmage is gonna go ahead and attempt to get a little bit more or items or something, a little bit more gold off over here. As you can see, the Mountain King could get to level 5. If we get to level 5 on that Mountain King, level 3 Stormbolt should be enough. But the Archmage is still stealing some of that experience away from that Mountain King, so we will not get to level 5 just quite yet. Scroll of Town Portal, not on any of those heroes, so it is going to be the long walk home, as we now are taking a look. Yeah, about 30 seconds left. Do we have Pillage? No, we do not have Pillage, So the grunts and the raiders are not getting gold back. Kodo Beast will be finished digesting that one Spellbreaker there, as the Altar of Kings could end up falling. All right, here we go. There's a little bit of slow. What's going to end up happening as the Water Elemental is now being dropped down. Blade Master in trouble. Stormbolt, Potion of Invulnerability on the Blade Master. Blade Master should be using that so he doesn't run out of mana, trying to finish down some of those units as the grunts are trying to get in position. All right, multiple casting of slow once again. Priest have plenty of mana for heals, and who is going to win out this choke point? Very, very odd, as the Spellbreaker's in the front line, as Militia now coming in from the back. Okay, this potentially could be bad as well. Blade Master wants to get up to 150 mana, but does not use the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Blade Master gets a 270 critical strike. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability is going to be used. Is it going to be used? No, it is not. Mountain King now invisible. There is the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Shadow Hunter healing waves again as the Militia in the back line are getting destroyed. 236 critical strike coming across both sides, losing a lot of units as this fight is just never coming to an end. Archmage, Mountain King, are they going to be able to retreat back? But where would they run to? Home is at the other side of this wall, and it's going to come down to this. A couple of critical strikes, and I believe that will be it. Mountain King falls, and Fly takes this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.